Now it's time to design our own studio. Be sure to include an inspiration board, a planning or work area, tool supply, and a display area for finished work in your dream studio design.
I took my sketchbook and I turned it over on its side. So here I am on page 1. Here's one way. I'm going to go ahead and draw this sort of box that hangs from the top of my paper. So you can see it's not exactly equal. I've kind of split. It would be quarters, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But you got 2 quarters in the middle and 2 left over on either side. I'm going to take the corners of that box and I'm going to connect those to the ends, the corners of my paper. And this creates a room space. So I've got 1, 2, 3 walls and the floor. This doesn't have to coexist with an existing place in your house. So you don't have to think about where would I put this. It's completely imaginary. Think of it as a dream space. I know I do. I'm going to start out with showing you how to add furniture in this perspective. I think if I were going to have a studio, I would want people to be able to walk by, kind of like the people who are viewing this picture. So I'm going to go ahead and use a trapezoid shape. Some people are like, oh, Mrs. A, can we use a ruler? Absolutely, you can use a ruler. I am not going to use a ruler. I'm just going to draw this kind of free-handed. So here is my workspace table. You would only be able to see the top of this table. You're like, weird, Mrs. A, it looks like a rug. Yes, that's true, it does, but it won't for long. I can add some things like I could add a place where I might have my pencils. I might have a little cup here that would have some scissors sticking out of it. Maybe a ruler will be sticking out of it. Maybe I'll have some other writing utensils. So this is going to be my workspace. You know what else is important? What kind of artwork are you going to be making? For me, I love to work with paper. So one thing that I would definitely want to have in my space would be a fabulous, hold on, Say's thinking here. Trapezoids and parallelograms are super helpful. Oh wait, I still need that line. All right, so that's the top of my super cool cabinet that I'm drawing. What? It went over into my other, yeah, it's gonna be against this wall. So I gotta erase that line. So see how it sticks off the wall? All right, put a line in down here, one over here, and this is going to be my super awesome paper cabinet. And my paper cabinet is going to have these amazing long drawers in them so that I can have all of my paper organized. Sure, I have lots of drawers for all of those cool papers there. That's just going to be the edge of my little cabinet there. You know what, I need some drawer handles, so I'm going to add some little drawer handles. All right, so there's going to be my paper cabinet, and next to my paper cabinet, again, you're going to see this trapezoid shape over here, and that's going to show you that's a countertop, so that's going to be the top. So that means I'm not going to see either side. Are you catching on? So when I'm using the trapezoid shape that has the 2 diagonals that kind of lean in towards each other, you're going to see the top, but you're not going to see either one of the sides. So for this one, I wanted to see one side so that I could put something beside it. So I've got this parallelogram shape. So I've got 2 parallel lines that go this way, 2 parallel lines that go this way. For this one, I want to see that trapezoid shape because I'm going to be drawing a workspace. So this is going to be a workspace, so it's going to cover up that leg there. I'm not going to see that leg anymore. It's going to cover up, let's see, I better make this one like this. I have a little bank here. I think this would be my sort of messy drawing space because I want it to be a back away from where people would see it. And I'm going to have lots of wet tools, paint brushes, where I would make my painted papers. I think I'm gonna make this one a stool though, because stools, a rolly stool for sure, right? Let's make it a rolly stool. I don't know what that would look like, but I'm gonna make it up. Put some little wheels on it down here. Ho-ho, rolly stool, Shazam, look at that, so cool. Of paper towels over here that I will definitely need for making a mess. I would need a trash can. I'm gonna go ahead and put a trash can under my desk here, kind of squeeze it in there. Okay, so I've got maybe this is my finishing area. So maybe this is where my materials are. I was thinking about what the clay lady said and how she worked in a circle. So maybe this is all my raw materials where I have my papers and all my pieces and parts. And then this is where I could create some of those and put those in there. You know what? If I'm gonna have a messy space, I'm probably gonna need a drying rack, right? You know what I could do? This is kind of high, but I could maybe I'll make my little drying rack right up here, and I'll just make that metal. Kind of looks like an open rack there. Oh, that'll work. Okay, so in my brain, I'm keeping this straight. I don't need to label it. I don't need to write drying rack and a little arrow there because you're going to get a chance to explain this. One of the cool things about our virtual learning platform that we have right now is that you can actually make a little video where you just tell me, hey, look, there's my drying rack area. This is my paper. This is where I'm going to keep all of my raw materials. Here's where I'm going to paint, or maybe, you know what I need right here is some sort of cool shelving unit that's going to have, I like the clay lady's shelves, how hers were kind of irregular like this, almost like a brick wall, and that she could have all different things in these little compartments. I think I definitely want to have some sort of little light. Up here would be, maybe I would have a little shelf that would have all of my paints on it. So you can see this is not the type of drawing that you're going to be able to sit down and do in like 5 minutes. It's going to take some thinking and some planning. So I'm going to keep going with my design. So I've got my raw materials. This is going to be where I'm going to have some of my tools and have one workspace. Then I'm going to have a clean, drying, finishing workspace over here. So what am I missing? I'm missing some more tool supplies, which this could certainly be. I'm also missing a finishing area. So I need a place where I can put all these things for people to see them. So I think I'm going to make this area over here. Maybe I'll have some hanging artwork. So I'm going to make these nice and vertical so that they look like they're on the wall. Make them look like they're hanging. It's going to have, oh, I know, I'm going to put one of those little name plates on it so you can see I'm going to put my name on it. And then I'm going to have I think I'll have some shelves down here where I can have more artwork on display. Maybe I'll have some picture frames kind of sitting like this with my artwork on it. Maybe I'll have a little basket of, maybe there's cards. Maybe I'm making some cards of some sort down here at the bottom. So I'm going to keep working. That area needs a little bit more work. You know what I definitely want is a comfy chair over here. So I'm going to add a nice comfy chair on this side as well. Vertical, diagonal, diagonal, vertical, horizontal, diagonal. So I could have lots of things up here. So maybe I can put my little printer. It's gonna kind of look like this. It's gonna have that little thing that sticks out that catches the paper. Set of shelves underneath my window. Let's put a little window here. And I'm gonna make it kind of like this. And then how can I make it look more like a window? Maybe I'll put a little rod across it like that. And I can have some curtains hanging down. There we go. That's very window-ish. Maybe I'll have a little flower hanging in the window here. Oh yes, that'll look much better once I add some color to it. Let's check. I have my work area. I got two work areas, a wet work area and a dry work area. I've got a place for my tools, like this would be my electronic tools and things where I would get ideas. So it's kind of my planning area. Then I've got my making area. Then I've got area for storage, and I have this area over here that's going to be my gallery. So I've got my 4 main areas included, and all it needs is I can outline. I will probably outline this with a Sharpie and then add some color. Good luck. Have fun designing your own studio. Oh, your dream studio. It's going to be awesome.